Welcome to today's tutorial. Kendra Baoma here. Today we're going to be learning how to draft, cut and sew this beautiful retro skirt. Some persons call it handkerchief skirts. So if you've been interested, let's dive in. Now I have my fabric here. Now it depends on your preference. You could use 2.5 inch, but I'm using 3 inches. I'm going to be folding my fabric into 4. As you can see, I folded it into 2, and then I'm going to be folding it again into 4. Please make sure your folding is properly done. All right, and now as you can see, I folded it into 4. Please, if you want a zipper, use your waist measurement, your exact waist measurement. Okay, but if you want an elastic, kindly divide your hip measurements. All right, use your hip measurements if you want to use an elastic, but if you want to use a zipper, please do well to use your waist measurement. Okay, so I'll go ahead and be measuring my hip measurements divided by the radius. That's 6.28. The only difference between this skirt and a circular skirt, the circular skirt you're cutting it round, but this one you're cutting it in the form of a rectangular form. Okay, so now I'm going to be having my hip measurements divided by my radius. That's 6.28. Okay, like I said earlier, please, if you're going to be using a zipper allowance, use your waist, okay, measurements to map out. But if you're going to be using an elastic, use your hip measurement to divide. Okay, so I've gone ahead to divide. Whatever you have, you'll mark it out. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and map out what I have. Okay, I think I had 6 point something, but be sure of your own measurement. I'll mark it round. Okay, then I'll get my length. I'm using length 30. Okay, I'm mapping length 30. So I'll be mapping 30 inches diagonally and vertically. Okay, 30 inches is the short for the short length. Okay, as you can see. Now from the apex to meet the other diagonal line, I'm going to be having 42 inches. So 42 inches is for the long length. Okay, now I'm using my curve to map out my waist line, which is my hip measurement, because I'm using an elastic band. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and cut. Now remember, if the circle flare is going to be curvy like so, but this is not a circle flare, it's an handkerchief skirt, so that's why we have it in the form of square, but diagonally it's actually, the diagonal length is actually longer. Okay, it's actually 42 inches. So I'm just going ahead to notch the waist. So look at what we have now. See. Now we look have at it what in it the looks form like. of Like I square. said, the Remember only I difference told you between this the and a circle circle flare flare, is going from to one be from end this to end, another, you it's take it going to be like this to curvy, this other end, like this. while the Okay, other side but will be since an excess. But handkerchief since it's flare, an we have that handkerchief flare, excess. this is Hope what I'm we have. understood. I don't know If you're new what's in wrong this with my channel, you're tripod today. welcome to Maybe my I just have to subscribers. shift You rock. Okay, our tutorials from this exact
So this is
location
what it
I'm
looks
using.
like. Then I'm going to be taking out my measurements again to see the accuracy of my measurements. And I'll be opening it like this. It looks like a boo-boo. So this is what it looks like. Now, if you want the longer part at the sides, you could arrange it the way you want. Okay, whichever way you want. So now I'll go ahead and be cutting the upper flare. It's just a straight fabric we're going to be using. I use length 60. Okay, length 60 by 12. When you fold length 60 into 2 is 30. Okay, so I'll be taking 30 inches by 12. I'm doing for both the front and the back. So we have fabrics here, four fabrics here. That's two folded into um two. That is four. If that makes sense to you. Okay, the front is 16 inches folded into two, 30. The back is 16 inches folded into two, 30. So I'll go and be marking the length. I'm going to be using length 12. Okay. So after marking the length, what I'll be doing now, I'll be taking note of my waist measurement. Where my waist measurement stops for the front and for the back, I'll be marking it, as you can see. So this is where we'll be on the waist. The other side will dangle on the body. Okay, I'll just go ahead and cut. If you have any questions, kindly leave it on the comment section. Okay, if you find this helpful, kindly give us a thumbs up as well. Thank you. So I'll just go ahead and cut. Okay, I'm notching where the waist is going to stop. Okay, so this is what we have. Now you can make it shorter, you can make it longer, but I'm using 12. Note the band. Okay, I took out 2 inches. Sorry, I didn't make mention of it earlier. I took out 2 inches from the length. I was supposed to be having length 32. Okay, but for the band, I took out 2 inches. So now what I'll be doing, I'll be cutting 5 inches by my waist measurement. Okay, this is what it is. Adding both of them. Okay, so now let's go ahead and cut our band measurement, which is our waist measurement. You add 1 inch to fold, okay, by 5 inches. When you fold 5 inches into two, you have 2.5. 0.5 inches will be used to join the skirt. Now this is the sewing process. What I'll do, I'll go ahead and hem all the raw edges. There's not much of a tax in this. I'm just going to be hemming all the raw edges. Okay, so let's do it. Starting with the band. For those that don't know what hemming is, hemming means folding the raw edges in. Okay, so I'm going to be folding in by 1 inch. As you can see, I'm folding the raw edges in. This is for the beginners that have seen this video. Then I'll just sew. So I'm going to repeat this process for all the raw edges, and I'll come back to you. So as you can see, I'm done hemming. As you can see, I'm done hemming. I'm done hemming. The next thing we are going to be doing now, we are going to be measuring the waist. So I have 21. 21 times 2 is 42. So I'm going to be measuring 42 by 5. So that when we fold, it's going to be what? 2.5. Can you see? It's 2.5 when you fold it. So I'll leave the band aside first and join the upper skirt to the handkerchief skirt. Okay, I'll just map out the front waist and join. What I do for the front, I'll do for the back. Look at what it looks like. Okay, look at what it looks like. I've secured with pins. I'll just go ahead and join it. So what we do for the front, we'll be doing for the back. Okay, you have to join this before attaching the main waistband. So if that makes sense to you, that's the waist to waist, please. Waist to waist. Then this other part will dangle on the handkerchief flare. So we'll just go ahead and stitch it down. Like I said, what we do for the front, we'll be doing for the back as well. If you have any questions, kindly let me know. We'll do that before we work on the band, okay? So I'm stitching it now. So you can use 0.25 inch to stitch. Now this is for the band. Now the elastic, we are folding by 2, that's having 2.5. So I'm going to be stitching it on the other side of the 2.5. Then I'll take it to the other end. I'll stitch it. It's very easy. Okay. I'm going to be stitching it. After which I'll be joining the two ends together. As you can see, I'll be stitching the two ends together. This will secure your elastic perfectly. Okay, instead of using a pin to put your elastic inside. Now look at now. When I fold, this is what we have. It's so easy. I'll just go and secure with pins. I'll put the elastic inside, secure with pins, and then I'll be stitching down. There are so many ways of inserting elastic, but I just said to do this way. So I'll be stitching down. I'll just go ahead and stitch around. There's not much of a task. Just look at what I'm doing. You're going to get it. Okay. Now for beginners, you can do well to secure with pins round before stitching. So when you're done stitching, just evenly distribute the elastic. Okay, just even you can see how beautiful it is. Now this is optional. You can top stitch twice or once. It depends on your preference. So I'm top stitching, okay, using 0.5 inches. Okay, you can top stitch twice to run a channel and to get a rope inside is optional. I'm not using a rope. So now I'm going to be merging it together, front facing front, sides facing sides. I'm attaching the band to the actual skirt. Okay, as you can see, it's not much of a task. I'll just sew it round and our skirt is super duper ready. If you find this helpful, like I said earlier, kindly give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and see you on my next one. Bye.